Have you ever felt that unsettling chill, a prickle on the back of your neck, even when someone is smiling warmly, their words dripping with apparent kindness? It's that gut feeling, that whisper of intuition telling you that beneath the polished veneer, something just isn't right. It's a sensation many of us have experienced, a subtle dissonance between what's presented and what's truly felt, leaving you with an inexplicable sense of unease. Perhaps it was during a celebratory dinner, a seemingly joyful moment, when a close acquaintance's congratulatory remarks felt hollow, their smile not quite reaching their eyes. Or maybe it was a family gathering where an elder's advice, though framed with concern, felt oddly constricting, aimed more at diminishing your agency than genuinely guiding you. This isn't just paranoia, it's often your subconscious picking up on subtle, nonverbal signals and energetic shifts that the conscious mind might struggle to immediately process or articulate. The renowned psychologist Dr. Alara Vance, a pioneer in the study of interpersonal dynamics and the complexities of the human psyche, often spoke of the unseen echo, the unacknowledged, denied, or suppressed aspects of ourselves that, when ignored, can manifest as veiled animosity or resistance towards others. She posited that these echoes are not merely personal flaws, but rather unconscious projections of our own unresolved issues, often directed at those who unwittingly reflect what we struggle with in ourselves. When individuals harbor feelings of resentment, jealousy, a deep-seated bitterness, or even fear of another's success, they rarely display it openly. Such emotions are often meticulously concealed behind a facade of cordiality, yet they invariably leave a trail of subtle, almost imperceptible clues, a shift in gaze, a strained tone, an absent-minded comment, or a recurring pattern of undermining actions. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and expose 8 undeniable indicators that reveal if someone in your inner circle is harboring ill will, even as they go to great lengths to mask it. We will delve into the nuanced behaviors that betray hidden animosity, often leaving the target feeling confused, frustrated, or simply off. Pay close attention to the intricate details, because the final sign is the most insidious, a master of deception, capable of completely altering your perception of those you thought you knew best, forcing you to reconsider the very fabric of certain relationships. Before we dive into these crucial insights, take a moment to hit that subscribe button on the Insight Nexus channel and join our exclusive community on the Mindful Journeys platform. You won't want to miss our upcoming deep dives into personal mastery, emotional intelligence, and spiritual awakening, all designed to empower you with knowledge and clarity. Now, let's unravel these hidden truths, illuminating the shadows that can exist even in the brightest of connections. The first telltale sign is what Dr. Vance termed benevolent barbs, contempt, cleverly disguised as playful banter or humor. Covert animosity rarely announces itself with a fanfare or overt aggression. Instead, some individuals prefer to express their underlying negativity through seemingly innocent, yet undeniably cutting remarks, sharp-edged jokes, or a particularly biting, often cynical, sarcasm. Imagine a scenario. You, an aspiring chef, proudly share your latest culinary creation, perhaps a unique fusion dish you've spent weeks perfecting. A supposed friend, instead of offering genuine praise, might quip, "Oh, that looks experimental. Are you sure you didn't accidentally use the wrong spices? It smells quite ... brave." The words themselves, taken in isolation, could be dismissed as light-hearted teasing. However, the tone, The subtle smirk and the repeated nature of such comments often reveal a deeper, more malicious intent. They might playfully poke fun at subjects they know you're particularly sensitive about, or jokingly mock your aspirations, your appearance, or even your most cherished beliefs. But when you attempt to address their comments, expressing your discomfort or hurt, they quickly retreat behind a defensive shield, retorting with phrases like, "Oh, I was just kidding. Can't you take a joke? Don't be so sensitive." Or "You're taking this far too seriously. It's just a bit of fun." This behavior is particularly insidious because it leaves you feeling unsettled, humiliated, and diminished, while the perpetrator skillfully maintains the illusion of being a harmless jester, an innocent fun lover who simply doesn't understand your oversensitivity. In reality, a consistent pattern of cynical or belittling humor directed at your vulnerabilities, aspirations, or even your perceived flaws is a clear indication of underlying contempt. If their jokes consistently leave you with a lingering sense of humiliation, belittlement, or a pervasive feeling of being put down, and especially if they repeatedly target the same sensitive areas over an extended period, it's highly probable that it's not merely humor, but a calculated manifestation of suppressed hostility. The second sign points to what Dr. Vance termed shadow sabotage, a hidden, often passive-aggressive effort to undermine your progress or success. If someone close to you feels deeply threatened by your achievements, your growth, or even your mere potential, they might subtly attempt to hinder your path, often in ways that are difficult to pinpoint as deliberate. This form of sabotage is rarely overt or direct. You won't find them overtly tampering with your work or openly speaking against you to others. Instead, it often manifests as subtly misleading advice, conveniently forgotten information, deliberate miscommunications, or minor errors and oversights that, when accumulated, create significant roadblocks to your goals. Imagine you're working on a crucial project at your workplace, a large architectural firm, and a colleague. A fellow architect named Mr. Henderson seems outwardly supportive. However, you notice that important emails are sometimes missed by him. Key meeting times are accidentally mislocated, or critical design specifications he was supposed to share with you somehow get lost in his files. These aren't monumental errors on their own, but when they repeatedly occur at critical junctures, causing delays, forcing you to redo work, or making you look less competent, a pattern emerges. A colleague, a friend, or even a relative who consistently forgets to relay crucial details, omits vital information from a discussion, or accidentally complicates a task for you, might not be as absent-minded as they appear. If these incidents recur with alarming regularity, consistently surfacing at critical junctures where your success is at stake, it's high time to question whether they are truly mere coincidences or a deliberate, albeit subtle, pattern of obstruction. Observing the persistent pattern and the opportune timing of these behaviors is key to determining if there's an unconscious or even conscious desire to impede your success. Sign number 3 reveals the silent ascent, unspoken competition that seeks to overshadow your triumphs and diminish your light. Some individuals simply cannot tolerate your success, your happiness, or your personal fulfillment without feeling an overwhelming urge to either outdo you, divert attention away from your accomplishments, or subtly diminish their significance. Every victory you celebrate, every piece of good news you share, every personal milestone you reach is met with an immediate attempt to shift the spotlight onto themselves, or to subtly downplay the importance of your achievement. Consider this scenario. You've just returned from a highly anticipated year-long volunteer mission helping communities rebuild after a natural disaster, a deeply transformative experience. You excitedly share stories of resilience and the positive impact you witnessed. Instead of offering genuine congratulations or asking more about your inspiring journey, a family member might interject with, "Oh, that's interesting, you know. I've been thinking about taking up basket weaving. It's incredibly therapeutic, and I've already mastered a really complex stitch on my first try." The conversation is immediately rerouted, your unique experience minimized by their own, often less significant, self-promote. If you recount a personal success, perhaps you've just published a challenging research paper or landed a dream consulting project, they are quick to interject with a story about how they achieved something similar, or even better, usually, with less effort or under more challenging circumstances. This unspoken rivalry often stems from profound insecurities and a fragile those who engage in it cannot bear to see you shine, because your light, your accomplishments, your very presence inadvertently challenges their own precarious self-esteem. Your success becomes a mirror reflecting their perceived inadequacies. If every conversation with this person devolves into a subtle, often exhausting, contest for attention or validation, if your good news is always met with a "but, look at me" anecdote, it's highly likely that an unexpressed resentment or deep-seated envy simmers beneath their seemingly placid surface. Dr. Vance posited that the projection of one's unseen echo leads people to perceive in others the very qualities they struggle to cultivate within themselves. For this reason, those who feel inferior, insufficient, or envious will often try to diminish or overtly compete with you, to avoid confronting their own feelings of inadequacy and unfulfilled potential. They cannot truly celebrate you because it means, in their mind, celebrating their own lack. Sin 4 reveals hollow handshakes, superficial support that lacks genuine substance, often a mere performance devoid of true empathy or concern. Individuals who secretly harbor ill feelings or deep-seated resentment might mask their true emotions with a superficial, yet ultimately unhelpful, show of solidarity. They might offer empty words of encouragement or a performative pat on the back, but their actions betray their lack of genuine investment. When you genuinely need assistance, be it emotional support during a personal crisis or practical help with a demanding task, they tend to minimize your problem with platitudes like, "Oh, I'm sure it's not that bad," or conjure up elaborate, often flimsy, excuses for their unavailability. Picture this: you're facing a significant personal setback, perhaps a family health crisis that is consuming your time and energy. You reach out to a supposedly close friend, explaining your distress. Their response might be, "Oh, that's tough. Listen, I'd love to help, but I've got this huge weekend getaway planned, and you know how important relaxation is for my mental health. You'll figure it out, you always do." The words are superficially sympathetic, but the underlying message is one of clear disengagement and self-prioritization over your actual need. Similarly, when you achieve a significant milestone, their enthusiasm is noticeably forced, a strained smile that doesn't quite reach their eyes, or entirely absent, quickly followed by a change of subject. This attitude becomes particularly glaring during pivotal moments in your life: a major career promotion, a significant relationship milestone, or a personal triumph you've worked years for. If you observe that someone in your immediate circle is consistently unavailable during your important junctures, perpetually offering excuses, or reacts with indifference, a thinly veiled disinterest, or even a subtle annoyance to your hard-won achievements, it's highly probable that their feelings towards you are far from genuinely positive. The fifth sign is what Dr. Vance identified as guiding chains, an insidious form of control, expertly disguised as genuine care, concern, or even loving advice. Some individuals attempt to exert dominance over your life, subtly manipulating your decisions and actions, all under the guise of acting in your best interest. They might constantly tell you what to do, offering unsolicited advice for every aspect of your life, from your career choices to your personal relationships. They may subtly criticize your every choice, implying you're incapable of making sound judgments on your own, and subtly sow seeds of doubt regarding your ability to navigate your own path independently. Consider a bright, ambitious young entrepreneur, fresh out of university, eager to launch their innovative tech startup. A family member, perhaps an aunt or uncle, who initially offers financial backing, might then begin to micromanage every decision, dictating marketing strategies, questioning every hire, and subtly undermining their confidence with phrases like, "Are you sure that's the best approach? I just worry you're not seeing the bigger picture. I'm only saying this because I care, you know." Their intent is not to truly support your autonomy or foster your growth. Rather, it is to make you feel dependent on them, to subtly erode your self-confidence, and ultimately, to make you believe you cannot succeed without their constant oversight and approval. This form of control can be incredibly difficult to identify because it is so often cloaked in what appears to be loving advice, sincere concern, or even paternalistic guidance. The sixth sign is what Dr. Vance chillingly referred to as whispering venom, the insidious spreading of criticism, distorted information, and malicious gossip. People who harbor negative sentiments, deep-seated resentments, or envy towards you rarely express these feelings directly to your face. Instead, they prefer to disseminate their negativity indirectly, often through a network of mutual acquaintances, spreading criticism, distorted facts, and outright malicious gossip about you behind your back. This behavior is particularly insidious because it affects you indirectly, often without your immediate awareness, until you begin to feel the tangible, damaging ripple effects. Imagine you're a talented graphic designer working for a marketing agency, and you've recently been given a prominent new project that your colleague, Mr. Davies, had hoped to land. Outwardly, Mr. Davies is cordial. However, you start noticing subtle shifts in how others interact with you. Certain friends or colleagues who were once open and friendly might suddenly become distant, guarded, or even subtly colder. You might overhear hushed conversations that cease abruptly when you approach, or find yourself excluded from informal group discussions you were once a part of. This unexplained shift in social dynamics, without any direct confrontation or apparent reason, can be a strong indicator that someone is actively circulating negative information about you. False or exaggerated rumors are a potent weapon in the hands of those who hold grudges or harbor envy, because they systematically undermine your reputation, damage your credibility, and gradually isolate your public image without you even realizing. Who the source is. Sign number 7 reveals what Dr. Vance aptly named joyless echoes, a distinct and palpable lack of genuine happiness or celebratory spirit in response to your successes. People who genuinely care for you, who are true allies and well-wishers, are unequivocally happy when you reach a milestone, achieve a goal, or experience a moment of triumph. They offer unwavering support during your challenges, providing a steady presence in difficult times, but they also wholeheartedly cheer for your victories, seeing your success as a shared positive experience, a source of collective joy. On the other hand, those who harbor grudges, envy, or ill will towards you struggle immensely to conceal their annoyance, their disinterest, or their subtle displeasure at your good fortune. You can recognize them by their cool, often detached reactions, their sudden and forced changes of subject, or their immediate, almost instinctive, attempts to downplay your achievements. Imagine you, a freelance writer, just landed a prestigious national award for your latest novel, a culmination of years of tireless work and dedication. Instead of sincere congratulations, their response might be a dismissive, "Oh, that's nice," followed by an immediate shift to a topic about themselves, or a lukewarm "good for you," said, without any real warmth in their eyes. The contrast between their reaction to your success and their genuine enthusiasm for their own, or even others' successes, if they don't threaten them, is stark. This muted or absent joy is a red flag, indicating that your accomplishments are not a cause for celebration, but rather a source of discomfort for them. The eighth and most crucial sign directly involves the unspoken script, the intricate language of nonverbal cues and often hidden details that betray true emotions. Covert animosity, unlike overt aggression, rarely announces itself with words. Instead, it manifests in the most subtle, almost imperceptible nuances, often through involuntary attitudes, fleeting micro-expressions, and subconscious signals that the conscious mind struggles to control. It is often expressed not through spoken words, which can be carefully chosen and filtered, but with a nuanced symphony of bodily reactions. A fleeting glance that seems out of place, quickly averted as if caught in a forbidden act. A smile that is clearly forced, a mere contortion of the lips that doesn't quite reach the eyes, leaving them cold and devoid of warmth. A sudden, almost imperceptible change in facial expression that vanishes as quickly as it appears, hinting at an underlying negative emotion, or a tense, almost suffocating silence that speaks volumes more than any accusation could. These subtle tells, these involuntary gestures, can say much more than 1,000 carefully constructed words. Many people, particularly those adept at social masking, try desperately to hide their true feelings, to present a facade of friendliness or indifference. However, the body, in its profound wisdom and its unwavering connection to the unconscious mind, invariably betrays the deepest, most authentic emotions. If someone pretends to appreciate you, pretends to be a wisher, but secretly harbors hostility, envy, or resentment towards you, you will perceive it in these subtle gestures, these minute errors in their performance. Their hands might subtly stiffen, clenching almost imperceptibly when you excitedly discuss a recent success. The tone of their voice might shift ever so slightly, a fleeting harshness or an unnerving hollowness, when they pay you a compliment that feels insincere. Or they might consistently avoid direct eye contact during certain conversations, especially those where your achievements or their own perceived failures are brought into focus, preferring to gaze past you or at a distant object. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey through the intricate complexities of human interaction and the subtle art of discerning hidden emotions. We truly hope this deep dive has provided you with invaluable tools for navigating your relationships with greater clarity, discernment, and confidence. The ability to recognize these signs is not about fostering distrust, but about building healthier, more authentic connections by understanding the true dynamics at play. If you found this discussion insightful and empowering, please consider subscribing to our channel. It's more than just a click. See you in the next video.